Hey guys, it's Sarah. I am going to read the intro to Be Beloved. And I feel like this is story time, sharing with people I love a message of love. Be Beloved, an intimate, extraordinary journey with Jesus. Dedication. This book is for my sisters and brothers who have not yet intimately experienced the extravagant, unstoppable, and never conditional love of Jesus that cascades over all people always. It is most deeply dedicated to those who have walked away from an experience of Jesus in which they have felt excluded or judged or dismissed, disillusioned, or dissatisfied. Come and see. Come and be with the one who wildly and unstoppably loves you. You are beloved by Jesus. This is page V. It looks like this. Welcome. I've been expecting you. The table is set for you. The feast is lavish and abundant. This is soul food for your soul. This table will satisfy your hunger and delight your senses. There is water here if you're parched, food if you're hungry, rest if you're weary, and companionship if you're lonely. Here, you will find what you most need and desire. Your soul will be made whole here. I'm so glad you're taking this time to be with me. Welcome, Jesus. Next is the table of contents. Backwards in my camera, sorry about that. The welcome. The balm of living beloved. Whether you are lit up with excitement as you crack open this book, worn out and not sure if you have the energy to turn the page, or hesitant to dive in, I humbly and with great joy invite you to enter into this journey. You may feel resistant as you consider this invitation from my heart to yours. Maybe you feel you don't really have time. If so, I invite you to pause and draw near. Maybe you are in pain. If so, I invite you to pause and draw near. Amidst what seems broken, beyond repair, pause and draw near. Amidst the heartache and heartbreak in the lives of those you love most, pause and draw near. Amidst the great suffering and chaos in the world, pause and draw near. Welcome this blessing as you begin. Allow these welcoming words to cascade over you softly and steadily. You are loved. Be loved by Jesus. This is important, so let's read it again. You are loved. Be loved by Jesus. This is true for everyone on the planet who has ever lived or ever will live. We are loved. Be loved by Jesus. Everyone, always. Period. As you pause and draw near, I share this blessing with you and all people. I share this blessing that you and all people are greatly beloved by Jesus. In everything and always, all people are surrounded by the love of Jesus as surely as a fish is surrounded by water. Pause and draw near, my friend. Take this in. Does a fish need to know it's surrounded by water to be surrounded by water? No, it is surrounded. The same is true for all of us when it comes to the love of Jesus. We don't need to know we're surrounded by Jesus' love to be surrounded. It's truer than true. We are each surrounded, whether we know it or not. We don't need to do anything to make his love surround us more, nor can we do anything to make it go away. This idea can usher in solace and so much more. It can be a balm for our human suffering, from our everyday little troubles to the biggest hurts and heartbreaks. Today, the world is in need of such a balm. I speak of living beloved as a balm because for me, it has been just that. It has simply seeped into my pores over time. In my journey, I've slowly deepened my embrace of the truth that I am beloved and companioned by Jesus always. Sometimes I feel him near and other times I don't. This practice of living beloved in the midst of everyday life sometimes eases the angst and sometimes it doesn't. It sometimes restores what hurts and sometimes it doesn't. It sometimes fuels me to go out into the world to serve with love, and sometimes it draws me to do nothing and be still. The good news about living more often as a beloved companion of Jesus is not so much that I'm always able to be joyous and courageous, unconditionally loving, or experience uninterrupted communion with him. No. In my lowest and grittiest moments, when I find myself worried, stressed, overwhelmed, failing, or insecure, it is there that I have found the message of being beloved to be good news that soothes my soul. I believe that Jesus himself has beckoned me to practice trusting in the midst of my highs and lows, that he is always with me and never stops loving me. Whether I'm in a season of intimacy and awareness of him or doubt and disinterest, his love is greater than the ebb and flow of my faith. Being loved and companioned by Jesus, whether or not I have felt it or known it, is what has crafted a story that is blessed and beautiful, even amidst my most messy failures or bumbling moments. Let me back up and share a bit more of this messy, blessed, bumbling, and beautiful love story, and how it has brought you and me together in this journey with Jesus. This is on page 3. A messy, blessed, bumbling, and beautiful love story. I have been a God seeker and believed in Jesus since I was a little girl. In my teens, I diligently read my Bible, went to church, and loved the adventures of mission trips. I savored words of wisdom from pastors and youth leaders, read lots of books about dedicated followers of Jesus, and had ample conversations with mentors as I sought God's direction and purpose for my life in the tumultuous days of adolescence. You most likely get the flavor. For much of my life, I've been a good Christian girl, and yet I have had seasons of great struggle. As a devoted follower of Jesus, I have experienced times of angst, a muddled bundle of longings, discouragements, hopes, frustrations, and more in my everyday life, relationships, identity, purpose, and faith in Jesus. The adage that people talk about what they most need to hear has definitely been true for me. Be beloved and the other B's in this book have emerged out of my extraordinary need for them and often from times of wrestling with and experiencing their opposites. In life's difficult days, I began to embrace the truth and gift of these bees. For instance, be real and be consoled grew out of my tendencies to try too hard to be a good person and hide the parts of myself that I deem unsightly, which snowballed into a life-threatening addiction in my early 20s. Still today, I am tempted to strive to be good or compare myself with others, trying to be more like those I deem more spiritual, strong, or capable than me. And so, with his help, I've been drawn to practice being real and being consoled by Jesus, the one who loves me. Be surrendered came out of my inclinations to grasp, clench, and hold too tightly to my agenda and power. And this never ends well. I have had seasons in which I have careened and propelled myself with great force, seeking to perfect aspects of myself or the world. And I have been worn out, rigid, and self-obsessed. Oof, it can be rough. It makes being surrendered to Jesus, the one who loves me, a graced and welcome place to be. Be riveted, emerge from my fierce focus on many good things, like how to be a dedicated follower of Jesus, or wife, mom, friend, and change maker. I can become so absorbed by my passions that I end up exhausted, overwhelmed, or distracted. And so with his help, I've been drawn to be riveted first by Jesus, the one who loves me. Be trusting arose from my tendencies to doubt or disbelieve the care, companionship, and love of Jesus. There have been many days, months, and seasons when I have not felt him nearby. And sometimes this sense of disconnection has resulted in jealousy of others' experience of him, or anxiety that I'm not quite enough. Day by day, and with Jesus, I practice being trusting of Jesus, the one who loves me. Be called, emerged out of my many decades hustle to figure out my vocation, calling, work, and my why. I've quested to become more me and make something of myself. And often I have pushed too hard to make an impact and difference in the world. I can become overwhelmed by my callings, working hard for God or those I love. Over and over, Jesus has shown me that before doing great things for him, I am called to be loved by him and to be in his company. Embracing the freedom of being called by Jesus, the one who loves me, has brought more freedom and more purpose than any other vocational pursuit. Be with developed as I have found my heart's desires more wholly fulfilled by simply being with Jesus. In days of discouragement, of profound weakness and weariness, or of not knowing where I'm going or how I'm getting there, I've been beckoned just to be with Jesus. What a joy and grace to allow being with Jesus, the one who loves me, to become my heart's desire and place of rest. This is on page 5. Be still came because simply, often, I just don't stop. It's ironic because I found myself both longing for rest and quiet and resisting it. It's challenging for me to slow down because I'm such a doer. I often find myself compelled by things I sense I must do now, whether for others or for my work. Being still with Jesus, the one who loves me, is where I am most at peace and content, especially within the busiest and most challenging days. It is not my intention to air my dirty laundry or overshare, but as we begin this journey, I hope you see the ways in which my needs and weaknesses have been the very things that have opened my arms to embrace the truth that living beloved by Jesus renews and in dire days saves my life. Although your struggles are likely different than mine, perhaps you are curious, eager, and hopeful that you too can be met, companioned, and loved by Jesus in the midst of your everyday life. Even in my grittiest, darkest, and most broken moments, Jesus has always been near, whether I knew it or not. The truth is that none of this messiness, none of my deep doubts or failures in my faith have ever changed his desire to be with me and his commitment to love me. All that I have ever tried to find or create for myself, I've found in Jesus. It's in this sometimes knowing and sometimes experience and sometimes trusting truth that beckons me to draw near to him, to drop it all and let go of what I am carrying on my shoulders or grasping tightly to in my hands, to surrender my paltry attempts to be good and perfect, to hand over those I worry and fret about to the one who loves them most, to not hide my insecurities or my overcompensating ways, to be with Jesus, the one who calls me beloved. Bottom of page 5. Pause and draw near, my friend. My ever-growing and deepening experience of being loved and companioned by Jesus initially prodded and inspired me to write Be Beloved. One day a few years ago, as I was preparing for a writing retreat, I felt a mysterious and powerful sense that it was time to begin. Page 6. The form of this book began to take shape as an intimate experience with Jesus that I prayed would meet you in the midst of your everyday life, in the context of your everyday life. Know that this journey invites and beckons you to let go of all you believe you need to be, do, or think in order to be close to Jesus or to live a good life. This journey invites you to listen, to wait, to be still, to trust, to practice sometimes doing less, and to simply allow ample time to be with Jesus. I can't promise that this journey will make all the dreams come true that you now hold dear. But I can promise that Jesus is near and that you are mightily beloved by him. A few things this book is not. It is not a Bible study. This is not a self-help project or a path that promises personal transformation. You need not feel the pressure to work hard to make something of yourself. In fact, this journey doesn't even promise certain worldly or spiritual results such as fulfillment, happiness, purpose, or feeling closer to Jesus. Although all those results are possible, welcome the ways that you may indeed savor the Bible anew, grow and discover qualities about yourself, and spend time simply being with Jesus. It's also possible as you enter this journey with Jesus that you will experience more moments of the unstoppable, extravagant, lavish ways that you are loved because you are, and more moments of growing in a real and radical trust in his love for you that you don't yet feel. As you allow yourself to be companioned by Jesus and sense his gaze of great love, some days you may find yourself squirming with discomfort at this intimate way of drawing near to him and being his beloved. On other days, you may find yourself basking in awe that you have always been the focus of his deep love. On some days, this journey may fuel you to actively express his love in tangible ways to others. While on other days, you might be drawn to savor the gift of doing less and simply slowing down to be still. Whether you've spent lots of energy in many good pursuits without much connection to God, or you've been in faith communities for much of your life and your Bible has numerous underlined passages in it and dog-eared pages in it, or you've found yourself resistant to or wounded by religion, I invite you to receive the gift of allowing all else to fall away and simply be with Jesus in this journey. I believe he was and is so expansive in his welcome of all of us to draw near. He welcomes conversations and wants to walk, talk, eat, and do life together. More than anything, I hope you bask in how beloved you are, and you trust that you are surely and steadily companioned by Jesus always. You are beloved. Pause and draw near. Page 7. I'm going to read one last little poem piece, and then I'm going to pause for the next section. This is page 8. Pause and draw near. May Jesus help you connect more deeply than ever with him, his Father, and his Spirit, so they become the source for everything in your life, the fuel for how you think, speak, and act, and with whom you walk through life in all seasons. May this journey encourage and strengthen you to live, move, and have your being with the mysteriously one and triune God, so that you always have a place to go when you are in need. May these bees fuel your experience of God's love for you and presence in you and presence with you. Create ample encounters with the Holy Spirit and develop radical and real trust in the truths that you are always loved and companioned by Jesus. May this journey fuel you from deep within, perhaps one day igniting dreams and desires and a new sense of your purpose on the planet. And on other days, empowering you to be more still and do less as you grow secure in how beloved you are by Jesus. May these 40 bees slowly but surely creep off the pages and robustly nestle themselves within you to gift you with what you most need in this season of life. May you bask in the ample moments to be still. Be rooted in and ignited by the rock-solid truths that you are beloved and you belong. And may you see more clearly how you are gifted to light up the world with your unique ways to be love, always together with Jesus. Pause and draw near. I'm pausing at the essentials.